We're live. Nancy
We
and I were just
are.
having so much fun talking backstage. We get together like half an hour
Oh my
before the
goodness.
show because
I
she's like,
have.
Heather, do you have this deck? Do you have this book? I'm like, Nancy, do you have this book? Have you heard about it? And we just start talking about life. And next thing you know, it's like, whoops, look what time it is. So it is another Monday. Nancy and I hope you all had a beautiful weekend. And Sonia, thank you for dropping in, my dear.
Yes.
I know you can't stay, but we appreciate you doing the YouTube thing and supporting us and saying hi. And Nancy, I hope you have a beautiful evening. So,
Thank
um,
you. Yeah.
so we'll give. We have. Let's see. We've got three. So we've got a lurker, a couple lurkers. Hi, lurkers. So, and it may be just that StreamYard is very slow, showing me
Yeah.
people commenting in
Well, we
chat.
appreciate the lurkers. I've
Yeah.
been a lurker many
Look
times.
who's here. Girl, are you feeling okay? Usually you're not up this late.
Hey, Jackie.
It's like 10 o'clock in your
Oh, and
time.
Peace
Usually you're in the
Mama.
bed.
Hey,
Yeah.
Peace Mama.
And Peace Mama is here. Wow, Jackie, it's so sweet to see you in chat. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Girl, we have got to get together. I miss reading with you. Oh, we got to find either a case or we got to do our Queen's Chamber. I miss hanging with you, girl. I know Jackie was mentioning that there is a lady who has a channel. Her name is Alicia Wicker, and she's teaching a class on how to read on cold cases and murder cases and stuff,
Oh,
using cards and using spreads and layouts. So I feared Jackie might be busy doing that. I was nodding off this evening. Now I'm awake. Oh, yes,
yep.
we must
Wake
all
up,
do the
girls.
nod.
Wake up.
Yeah. And one of these nights, Jackie, if you're up and you can't go to sleep and you want to jump on with Nancy and I, my God,
Oh,
girl, we'd love to have
yes.
you. So,
Yeah.
you know, the door's always open. Oh, tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday. Well, enjoy. Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. So, I'm going to take a quick sip. My coffee. I should be drinking water, but I will a little bit later.
I have watermelon juice. Arizona has watermelon juice, and it's just watermelon juice. It's nothing, no added sugar or colors or anything, and it is so good. And
Hmm.
it's a natural diuretic. It's wonderful.
Might have to try that. She has been drinking lemon water,
Uh
and
huh.
he has found since then. I said, "You think it might be a placebo effect?" I don't. He goes, "I don't think so, hon." But since he's been laying off a lot of the sweets and stuff, and been drinking the lemon water
Mm-hmm.
and having his carrots and his celery and his fruits and stuff, and you know, us eating more eggs and whatnot, and bacon. You know, having like a balance of
Mm-hmm.
the veggie and the meat, and he says he feels like his joints don't hurt him as much. He says he just feels a lot better. He's in less pain, and when he goes to eat something that he used to like to eat, something
Mm-hmm.
sweet, he's like, "Oh, I can't eat that." So
Mm-hmm.
I think I need to start
Well,
on that too.
when you give up fried foods,
Mm.
fast food,
Oh yeah.
when you come back and then you order something and it comes in, all you can taste is the grease.
For me, it's the salt. It's like,
Yeah,
oh,
well, yeah, everything has too
yeah,
much salt.
everything.
Oh, and flowing is here.
Yeah, we have people popping in. We
Yeah,
have
dancing so.
Flowing, Carmela's here,
Yeah.
Soul Sister. Where are my soul sisters? Let me hear your flow, sisters. So yes, every time I see that, I hear the Lady Marmalade from 2001. That was a great song that they redid. And Jackie, great movie too. Sad at the end.
Oh, and Jackie Jacaranda's here.
Yep. Jackie
Mine's we got both
Jacaranda.
Jackies.
Yep. And Mousy. Hello, Mousy.
It's so good to see everybody coming in.
It is. I have some people who talk about avocado water too and things like that. But what at our stores you'd be paying a lot of money for that stuff. So right now lemons are the cheapest, and I know I should start. Oh, and there's something too. that's really yummy. They carry it at our Wegmans here. It's one of our supermarkets. It's called labne. It's Labne, and it's basically like a well, they keep it in the like the cream cheese spread area. It's kind of thick like a cream cheese, but it's also a little softer. So it's not quite yogurt, but it's not quite fully cream cheese.
Huh.
And it's just we get it plain, and it's a nice consistency. And we find that we just put a little bit of honey, just a little bit, a light
Uh-huh.
sweeten. Oh, it's delicious. And we've been getting strawberries, and we've been like dipping some of our strawberries in with that. So to have kind of a tasty calcium, fruity,
Yeah.
healthy kind of treat. So really recommend that stuff. It's yummy. And hello, Norm. Good to see you. And yikes, need my glasses. Okay. I couldn't find mine after I got out of the bathtub. I walked around going, Shan, where did I lay my glasses down? I can't see them. So I hear you, Carmela. Oh, it is. And yeah, it's lovely and it's light and it's filling. So I highly recommend. So we are 6 minutes in and we have 10 people in chat. So before we get to talking about um, the divine feminine aspect of the Shekinah, Nancy came across a beautiful prayer. Um,
This
ooh,
this
that she
I
would like
I
to share.
read this morning because some people that are in this chat were in the chat this morning with Gerald and Jane,
Okay.
and I read this morning. It's a prayer for renewal. Divine Mother of all there is, whose essence lies within us all and in all things, please fill this place with your sacred light and presence. Please protect me and heal me. Please bring me to wholeness and wisdom. Make this day of fresh starts, new beginnings. Melt all obstacles in my path, gently, gracefully, lovingly. Reconnect me to my higher self. Awaken me to what I need to know next. Let my higher self select and connect with the divine energy that is right for me right now. May I be uplifted and empowered by your love. So be it, and so it is. And that is by Lori Sue Brockway.
Beautiful.
So,
Thank you for sharing,
yes.
Nancy. I love that. Um, so yeah, because right now what we need most is to be grounded, be centered, be
Mhm.
at peace, and know that we are divinely protected by not only the divine feminine but also by the divine masculine together. So
Yes.
that's a beautiful prayer of remembering or reminder
Mhm.
of we are not alone. We have each other, and we have spirit looking out for us.
Yes.
Exactly. Thank you, Nancy. And flowing is saying thank you. Oops. Nope, that wasn't flowing. That was the other Jackie. So I tell you, the chats jump. People don't realize when you have StreamYard, you go to
Yeah.
click on. That's why sometimes people get timed out accidentally. Not that I ever do that, right?
Oh no, Heather would never do that.
No. Um.
And I
So
just sit here and enjoy it, and I don't have to do anything.
I know I miss the days when I was the guest, and I didn't have
I'm
to
just sort of
worry.
enjoying it. It's nice.
Hmm. People, it takes work.
Yeah, it
Um,
does. Yeah, it
it
does.
really does. So, alrighty, we're talking about the divine feminine energy of Shekinah. Oh, really quick, Soul Sister dancing or dancing Soul Sister said, "I would love the prayer. Where can I find it, Nancy?"
I tell you what I'll do. I will put it on my community page after this live, and you can just go to my community page, and I'll take a picture of it. And when you click on it, it'll show the whole thing, and you can. It's not so long that you could either print it
Hmm.
out or
Yep,
copy it. It's not so long that it would take a long time to
I
print
got
it
it in
out.
3.5 seconds almost.
Yes, I
Nancy sent
sent.
it to me
Or I tell you what I can do. Anybody that wants it, my email address is on my about
and
page
it's in the description
and
below too.
description, and just send me an email, and I will immediately, like that, send it to you.
Yeah, Nancy and I were talking backstage, saying back in the day, we would get a phone call, go to the wall, answer it, I'm going to write you a letter. Okay, I'm going to send it to you. Okay, you'll get about 3 to 5 business days, and now it's like 3 to 5 seconds. I mean,
Yes.
it's just how times have changed. And Jackie's Crystal Moon said, in my mediumship course, I wrote a fab poem to the universe. Must share on my community tab. We would love to see
Oh,
that, Jackie.
yes. Yes.
Most definitely. The more, the more, the better. And don't for. Ah, thank you, my dear. Yes. And whoops, again, peace, mama. Thank you, Nancy. And oh, great idea. Yes, and thank you. So, do you want me to just go first and share what I had in my goddess
Oh,
book, and then
sure.
okay.
Yeah.
So Nancy has a deck that had at least a picture. It was really hard to find, anything in a lot of our decks, which took me by surprise. And when I looked it up on my Bing browser, I was getting that basically Shekinah is a divine feminine energy associated with Jewish mysticism, especially the Kabbalah. And so it goes really long, kind of in depth about roots and things and stuff on Wikipedia. But we're just going to kind of condense it a little bit to keep with the uh, the divine feminine, the specifics, the energy. And yes, my little bro's here. One of my little bros. Hey, Tom. Tom was writing some very cool poetry last night. So thanks for hanging out. Be sure to check out his channel. He admits he's a little lazy to getting up and uploading videos and things, but Tom has a wonderful speaking voice, and he does flip throughs, and he does some talking, video, not video, but audio on his channel. So, all righty. Thank you, ladies. I looked up the Shekinah in preparation. Oh, wonderful. Hold on a second, too. It's starting to rain. Oh, don't remind them. It's starting to rain again. Let me close my window. Nancy, why don't you go ahead, and then I'll read my little blurb from my book.
Okay.
And I got to close my window.
Well, the first thing that I found had to do with Shekinah being in contemporary Jewish books and literature. And I went on and I found, I don't know if y'all have ever heard of the Course in Miracles. Well, there's a Course in Miracles Society, and I found this Shekinah, Divine Feminine and the Holy Spirit by Amy Torres. And this is what she said. Now, the Course in Miracles is in a big book that's about this thick, and I have it somewhere, but I couldn't find it, which is no surprise. But anyway, this is what the first paragraph says. It says, last night we had a guest from Israel in our Course in Miracles class. About an hour into class, I referred to the Holy Spirit as He. And our guest, Hilla, bolted upright with surprise. He, Hilla said, making sure she heard me right. Yes, I answered. The Course is written with Christian terminology. It's a genderless he, but the masculine is used. Not in the Hebrew edition, she said. What does the Hebrew edition say? We asked. She was the answer. And then a light bulb went off in my mind, Shekinah, the divine feminine. Mm-hmm. And, it goes on and talks more of that. But what it is it is the divine, it is the spark of the divine within us all. And I love that. The divine spark. Yes.
Like it would be like associated with the Holy Spirit,
Mm-hmm.
In Christianity. And I've also believed that Sophia, that we hear a lot about too, where there's even cathedrals and stuff built, like Hagia Sophia. I believe that's in Spain. Fatima, where are you? Because it's either in Portugal or it's in Spain. That honors, is Sophia, which is considered the divine feminine aspect of the God source. And,
that's what Dancing Soul Sister just said. Isn't the Shekinah the feminine aspect of God?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the divine spark in all of us, the Holy Spirit. Yes.
Yes.
So was there something else you wanted to share, Nancy, before I
No,
shut
no,
the door?
that was all. I just love that divine spark.
Mm-hmm. Divine spark in all of us. So for my Goddess Book of Days, I paged through and I found her. And this is what, what's her name again? Nancy Blair shared with us in her book, Shekinah. Release yourself fully to the magic of life. Love is waiting for you. Love it already.
Mm.
In the Hebrew tradition, Shekinah is the female force of divinity. She is the clear, sharp breeze on a cool afternoon. She is the spirit song on the wings of the fledgling birds learning to fly. She floats around Belly Cloud in her invisible blue river sky. She is the hissing rattle of crispy copper leaves against a concrete wall. She lifts the dust and the debris into tiny tornadoes and settles them far from home. Shekinah is the invisible force of natural change. She animates all earthly action, moving all things forward, wholeness and harmony, toward, wholeness and harmony. Her only interest is integration, bringing together what needs to be united for the good of all. She is Holy Communion and she is reunion.
Mm.
She is the supreme centripetal force animating and centering all things. Shekinah also knows that what goes together must also come apart. She is the ultimate shapeshifter in the realm of the goddess. Invite Shekinah into the space around you. You needn't give instruction or direction. She will instinctively begin her subtle play. Listen to the pulse of her invisible breath. I love that.
Yes.
When you follow fancy and whimsy without reason, you are in Shekinah's magical presence. When you surrender without condition to her mysterious maneuvers, she'll bring you to what is true and real. Any little affirmations you can say. I can make changes without having rational reasons. I pay attention to what is calling me from deep within my knowing. I trust the adventure of life. So
Ooh,
Shekinah could also represent, if you think about the tarot, maybe in the way of the fool as well. She
that's beautiful.
embodies the
Yeah.
beginning, the journey, the play, the fearlessness. And hold on a second. Huh? Yes. Sorry.
Hey, Rossi.
Hello, sorry, I want to make sure my window was closed. So Rossi is here. Hello, my dear Rosanna. Um, so did I miss any comments? So yeah, that's what yeah, isn't that beautiful? She's like when it says the rattle, I was thinking, oh no, she's gonna make a mention of the snake, and no, it was like that rattling you get with the crispy leaves during autumn up against the, and I know that sound. I was just like, oh, I love this because fall is like my favorite season. So,
Heather, do you want me to read what it says in this
sure.
about this
Yeah, I'll
deck
put you.
is the divine feminine, and this is the only deck that I could find Shekinah in. And it says the presence of the divine feminine at the center of everything. There is light, and I am that light. And this is what it says in the book. Let me see here. The Shekinah represents the omnipresent and the eminence of the divine feminine. The word Shekinah in Hebrew means to settle, to inhabit, or to dwell. It represents an experience of the divine presence right here in the body and in the world. In Kabbalahism, mystical Judaism, the Shekinah is the feminine aspect of God, and she's depicted as a piercing, radiant light. She is the experience of the presence of God within us and the soul of God. To the Kabbalist, honoring the feminine is of the utmost importance. That is why the red thread of protection is worn on the left wrist, which is the receipt, this, receiving feminine side of the body.
Ooh, I didn't know that.
In Kabbalistic teachings, the Shekinah is represented in the tree of life as the pillars of balance. She is the force that unites us, that unites the opposites. She brings heaven to earth, and she unites the body and the soul. Because of her, there can be a direct path of communication between humanity and divinity. Because of her, we can experience God right here in this moment and right here in the body. When your soul selects her card, in the Zohar, the main sacred text in Kabbalah, the Shekinah is described as being a world within a world, as a bright radiance at the center of everything. All life on earth, all consciousness is a part of her light and is therefore sacred. The metaphysical theory of immanence is that the divine presence is manifested in the material world, so that there isn't actually any matter, whether organic or inorganic, that isn't also a part of the divine. The Shekinah is light that inhabits your body, your cells, and is in the cells of all the people and objects you see around you. She is also about pure experience. She is the message, the truth that there is light at the center of everything that happens to us, both the good and the bad.
Mm-hmm.
And the Shekinah is the reminder that we are not just this body or this pain we might be going through or this confusing moment in our brief life. We are light. We are molecules of heaven in human form. And right now, we can just know this. We can experience the light we are, and that can be enough. That can be the miracle and the answer we actually need. Not words or meaning, but simply and more profoundly, pure, radiant being. And the soul voice meditation is enter the heart and repeat this mantra: I am light. See what images or words arise. And the intention is at the center of everything there is light, and I am that light.
Wow.
That is beautiful. That is so profound.
Mm-hmm. And what Deccan book is that?
The Divine Feminine by Megan Watterson. And she also has done a book and a workbook on the Divine Feminine of Mary Magdalene. So, and that deck, I have that deck, and it is very complex. I have to really study that. That's another
the
one.
Mary Magdalene one, or this one here?
No, the Mary Magdalene.
Mary Magdalene.
Yeah.
I think Jane the Seeker works with that one. If I know Jane is very much with Mary Magdalene.
Yes.
So.
Yeah.
All righty. So thank you. And Karen has joined us. Driving, so I can't message it back. I just wanted to let you know I'm listening. Well, thank you, my dear. Thank you for joining us. And everyone says it's beautiful.
Well, yeah, Peace Mama, that's what we need to remember, that we are light.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to show that light, especially in these days and times. It's so important, and that's what I love about studying the Divine Feminine. I didn't realize the magnitude and the vastness of Shekinah.
Mm-hmm.
In every cell, in every being, in everything, And I guess that's why vibrations are so important, because when we raise our vibration, we get to the vibration of certain crystals, and that's when the crystals speak to us. So.
Fancy Soul Sister says we are light.
Yes.
And that's why Nancy and I think I can speak for Miss Nancy when I say this. This is why we do this show, is because the divine feminine is so vast. She's so expansive. She's so intricate in every fiber of our
Mhm.
being and in our life and in the universe, whether as a sentient entity or being, down to the archetypal aspects that she has. And, you know, it was brought up to us last week that, she's very much in the forefront and she's not swept under the rug, but very much so. Uh, that's why Nancy and I enjoy doing this. We think it's very important, so that the progress that she has made doesn't get lost in these turbulent times. But not just turbulent, there are, again, playful times. Remember, we are the light.
Yes.
So where there is darkness, we just kind of shine the light over there, or maybe turn up a little bit higher in us to be able to balance that, take the lessons that need to be learned, and we move forward. So um,
And when you think of the spark, everybody has that spark.
mhm.
I mean, we all have the light, but we have that spark. And maybe, we'll come across somebody that has that spark, but it's kind of faltering, because,
Mm,
it's just really hard sometimes. And then here we come with our light and we smile or we say a few kind words. And that spark
mhm.
becomes brighter and brighter in that other person. And that's the whole point of sharing the light, At
We
least
want
that.
to we want to reflect, light to
Yeah,
people, so
yeah,
that they know that what we reflect back to them, whether they send us positive light or negative light,
yeah.
whatever, we're reflection. So that maybe
Mhm.
if it is a negative light, maybe that negative light can, our positive light can help, maybe can dissipate that and show that there is another way of being as well, and a way of to wholeness and
Yes.
flowing. Says, I would love to know her more. And um also, Shekinah, that would be like the Jewish mysticism, but also, again, Sophia in the Christian, and also Shakti in the Hindu pantheon.
Mhm.
Shakti is also the divine feminine energy as well. And I'm looking forward to having Michelle Marie join us when she can, because the Hindu pantheon is just full of so many amazing goddesses. Um, it'll be amazing to start learning, some of them as well. And we have somebody new in chat. Red Cloud, hello, welcome. Is palmistry easy to learn? I don't know. I would think, to me it looks complicated. It's worth anything that you study. It's whether you make it easy or hard, to learn. If you're dedicated, we don't talk about palmistry here. This is not what this particular. It may get brought up like you did, but there are a lot of channels you can look through on YouTube that do teach and speak about palmistry. So
Mhm.
I've always connected to the Great Mother. Me too. Everyone I pass is a teacher to me. Let that sink in.
Yeah. But
Everyone I pass is a teacher. Even the people that you off, or they do
oh
something
yeah,
mean that's still a lesson,
you can learn something from
Mm-hmm.
everybody. And I would like to learn more about the Kabbalah,
Mm.
really, if for no other reason than this.
So, Tom, if you are watching, I know you might be lurking. Um, if you can maybe put a easy to understand, because I believe the Kabbalah is part of his studies, or have been his studies. Maybe he can give the name of an author or a book, or maybe a channel. And if you can't at this moment, I will be happy to share that in my community tab as well later on, because you see pictures of the Kabbalah um, online, and there's just so much. It's like my brain it's like astrology. My brain just glazes right over. I mean, for me, it's like you really got to take away all, and just start first with the core, and then, because there's so many layers, because then you got numerology, I think, going into it. You have the astrology, then you have, the spiritual aspects. And it can be extremely complicated. But when you learn the basics, we can integrate that too. You will grab a few links in a little bit. So take your time, and if you
Yeah.
can't make it, either in the comments after the show, Tom, or you can relay them to me, and I'll put them in my community tabs. So,
Yeah.
and let's see, Peace Mama. Oh, hold on a second. Sirens.
I get sirens all the time, but I never mute myself. I'm sorry. I'm
All
just a
righty.
noisy person.
Um, so Peace Mama says, I love that flow, and I always say we can get the best gifts in the most unexpected places and people. Exactly. And she's like, yes.
You know, we have a fire station
I
that's
can't
about
wait till I leave.
two blocks away from us,
Hmm.
and there's some property at the end of our street, big piece of property, and they are building a huge fire station there. And so, in order to get on the main bypass, they have to come right by our house. So I can
Oh no.
in at all hours of the day and night. Here comes this because right before they get to the intersection, not only do they have their siren, they have that great big horn.
Hmm. I think a lot of places pull out first, and then if they're in a residential area, they try to get to like a main road or something before they actually hit. I
Not
think
here.
not there. Nope. Okay.
The guys are
Hello,
so
Delia.
happy to be firefighters. I mean, they're like, woohoo, get that thing going. But
So
anyhow,
Odelia has joined us.
ah,
And where Odelia is usually Fatima.
yes.
So hello to the sisters. Even if she can't be here, Adelia, please give Fatima our love and blessings. And they are not always pleasant in the first place, referring to the lessons that people give us with
Yeah.
yeah, they're not always pleasant. And that's where I know that I've been kind of dropping the ball for a while, because when people get nasty, I turn around and I say things not to their face, but like in driving and stuff and whatnot, I will use choice language, and I'd be like, I'm sorry, universe, but really, I meant love and light. you know. But these are trying times. We're really pushing, the energies are really pushing us to take a look at things that we have been trying to stuff under a rock for many,
Yeah.
many years. And the ugliness has to come out, before it can be, not fully eradicated, but before it can be, you know, um, addressed. And like a disease, you got to, you know, look at what's causing it, and then you have to do your best to eradicate it. Not fully, but
That's
um,
where a lot of shadow work comes in,
yes.
because if something happens, if I see someone or someone says something, or I just hear something and it
Mhm.
just gets me going and just gets me upset. Um, I need to find out why. Why am I acting like that? What, and kind of go back and see why I'm reacting the way I am, because it's a slippery slope. It's just so easy to get caught up in that, and that's why I just love. I'm just gonna think of that spark. That song, "This Little Light of Mine." I'm gonna let it.
Oh,
You know,
a lot of
and
people have been singing that nowadays.
yeah, yeah.
And Tom came up with a name for us. So Tom says, I am a big fan of Lon Milo Duquette, or Duque. So would recommend his Chicken Kabbalah book. And then he gives the link for Amazon. There are a ton of other resources as well. I'll get some others posted, but Chicken Kabbalah, unless they change that on you on autocorrect, but um, anywhere where to start. Remember, we got to keep things simple. for, at least for me, because when something is that extremely complex or appears to be, then it's kind of like you get like, oh my, or, you get like, oh, I'm not going to be able to do it. You feel defeated. Like, what am I going, so little bit at a time. And Ange is here. Oops. Again, the chat. Hello. Yes, we all know Jackie. Jackie's here, but Ange has joined us. Hello, hello. Um, Love and light, body demanding a nap. Oh, I had one this afternoon. Enjoy, Mousy. Go enjoy your nap. And oh, it's dinner time. Couple glasses of wine. And I did see Fatima pop in. Hello, my dear. See, I'm remembering to say your name properly. Um, and TK is here giving out hugs. Whoops. All righty. Here, let me. Oh,
Okay, I put that on my private wish list. That book.
yep. And
Yeah,
Nancy's wish list
thank
is
you,
in the
Tom.
description too. I'm learning how
Oh,
to click
yeah,
on that.
that one. I really pared down my wish list because it's so easy when you see something and you go, you you say, oh yeah, that looks good, and then I'm thinking about all the decks that I
Hi,
have. I
Bales.
need to really use what I have instead of so I really pared my or cut my wish list down. I was real proud of myself. Baby steps.
My wish list. Nobody wants to see my wish list, especially on Etsy. So yeah, it's
Oh
just
yeah.
ridiculously the amount of money they want to charge some of these bags. But I digress.
Yeah.
Tom says that
Princess.
is a very easy and approachable book.
Oh good.
Um, and Floyd already looked it up. Tom, it's a good price at $16.99, and he says Duquette likes to keep things light and humorous. So it's not so heavy and drony and big words. And I was trying to follow this website, Tom, that channel that um the Agrippa Library. Oh my goodness, the guy when he talks all these big words and things and stuff, it's just like, dude, can you break it down into simpler English for me? Um, so everyone giving blessings. Three shifting veils joined us. I was saying hi to Veils. Um, and let's see, we have 14 in chat right now. So, all righty. Let's see. Yes, it is. And unfortunately, I have a lot of things that I favorited, but I'm just not going to pay 65, 70, $80 for, you
Hey
know, a
Ange.
deck of cards. I can't. Yep. Ange popped in a little while ago. I said
Yeah.
hello to Ange. Just a few minutes.
You saw
Join.
her. Yeah.
Yes. And he has a follow up that I can't say that I have read yet called Son of Chicken Kabbalah.
Mm.
Rabbi Lane, Rabbi Lamed Ben Clifford's mostly painless practical Kabbalah course. Even that's a mouthful, but yeah, we
Yeah.
got it, Tom. Thank you so much for taking the time to type that all out,
Yeah.
especially when you're
Thank you.
working. Yes, Etsy is dangerous. Lots of beautiful decks on Etsy. And oops, again it jumped. But this is fine. I was looking into the Kabbalah in relation to the tarot and its imagery. Yes, there are some diagrams where they, in between the different sephiroths, they will put in like major arcana cards, and which just makes it harder for me to, figure out. That's why it's just like start with the main one, the little, like the chakma, which is the male, the bina, which is the feminine aspect. You got keter, you have tiferet. I'm learning them tiferet. I know that there's gavura or gebrua. There is malkuth, which is also, they said, can also be used along with, people use Shekinah along with, besides the Kalmuth, or how did I just say that word? Malkuth, excuse me. So it can be very intense, but a little bit at a time. Yes, back to work now. Thank you, Tom.
I think the Hermetic Tarot. I have the Hermetic Tarot, and it has a lot to do with the Kabbalah. I've got some notes on it. I think, I
Mhm.
think.
And there are different ways of people write the word Kabbalah. You'll see it with a Q,
Yeah.
you'll see it with a K. Some people I've seen in some instances use a C. So, but it's all, basically the
Mm-hmm.
same. And Ange says, so nice to see you, Heather and Nancy. So
Oh,
hope you're doing well, my dear. And did I miss anybody else? The 22 paths between the Sephiroth correlate to the Trumps. Yeah. The name, the word that shall not be mentioned. But yeah, it has to do with the tarot. So, but I find that very interesting too. But I digress. I won't go there. But yes, there was a diagram where they were, putting, inserting, and I'm like, oh no, 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 that's too much right now. Um, so just going through, High Priestess card has the male and female of the Tree of Life, and it depending too on who's creating the deck that will be represented, depending on the artistic, not integrity, um, personal aesthetics, for the art. Um,
mhm.
so I think we covered everything. Did you want to open the floor up for divine feminine readings?
Sure. I mean, whatever
Do you
everybody.
what cards did you bring
Ooh,
with you today?
which decks?
Yeah.
Is that what? Well, I have the Divine Feminine this deck, and I have uh, Mother Mary and Kuan Yin. I have the the Sacred She Tarot that I read like a oracle, and I have
Ooh.
let's see that I have that deck that you want. What is it again? Let me see. The Spirit Woman Rising,
Oh,
the
I love
Wild
that
Woman
deck.
Rising. I'm
I
sorry.
love that deck.
Yeah, and I've got the Witch deck, the WITCH.
Guess what I have with me too?
You have that one too?
With
Ooh.
me,
Well,
yeah,
that's the Heather
today.
made me do it. See.
But it's a fabulous, and remember, purchase responsibly. Y'all know
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
financial limits, but this really is an incredible book. It's called The Witch Oracle: Woman in Total Control of Herself. It's by Angie Sullins, and the art is by her husband, Silas Tabal.
Mm-hmm.
And the book itself, look at the thickness of the book. She's included some poems, poetry that she's written. Everything is all in color. Um, it's just an absolutely, some images are a little dark, but we have all aspects, of ourselves. And I love that there's a representation of Ellen of Trod in here. I don't think she
Mm-hmm.
comes out and says that that's mentions her. No, she doesn't. But from when Diana Bowles joined us and taught
Mm-hmm.
us about Diana, Diana taught us about Ellen of the Trod. So that was beautiful. Looking forward to having Diana back with us.
Oh,
So
that
I have that deck with me today. I actually pulled out my Astral Realms Crystal Oracle. I haven't used in a while. It's a beautiful deck. I have the Rose Oracle that I like to keep. I have Rebecca's other ones here, and also the Work Your Light. I'm getting back into working with
mm-hmm.
again. So I'm just going to go ahead and put the little banner. Do do do. All righty.
And I also have Beyond Lemuria. I love that deck. I have the mini deck, Beyond Lemuria. Yeah, Lemuria. I'm having.
Lemuria.
Yes,
And I
ma'am.
have lots of other decks around me, so I may
Oh yes,
get drawn to
they're
pull
just
something out.
just a little touch away. Yeah.
Oh, and Dancing Soul Sister says she has the Witch Oracle as well.
Ooh.
And do you like it?
Love
How do you feel about it? Oh, that was it. Heather made me do a deck too.
it.
No, a lot of us have it. The artwork is, I love it because it's not original. He
Uh-huh.
takes it from like pre-Raphael light and some of the older artworks, but he gives his own little bit of a spin to it. And I find that he did a really beautiful job on that. Deck is fairly new, and I purchased responsibly. It was a great price. It is because the box was damaged. Okay. But yeah, I mean the box. The people, are. I mean, here, let me, if I could carefully, the box itself.
And
Yep, Ant is on the list, and Shifting Veils. Let me just go ahead and get you on there. But the deck was only what I think. This was a gift from Shan for our anniversary last year. And it wasn't, I think it was maybe 25 he might have paid for it, but it has a magnetic clasp. It opens up beautifully. I mean, even the color, the artwork, everything on the box. And if you like putting your cards into a pouch or something, this could be a beautiful little keepsake box too. And on the inside um, is one of her poems. Become a disciple of inner devotion, resurrect the silver salvation of self respect. Believe in yourself and your wild, holy heart like it's a sovereign religion. It is. And the world needs more missionaries. And that's her poem. So it's a wonderful deck. Let's see. So let me back up a little bit. Flowing. I've got you, and let's see. Tom said, "Oh, and I actually okay. Oh, and I had actually started putting together a kind of recommended reading page on my website. It's not quite ready yet, but I will put a bunch of Kabbalah books on there as well, along with others. Thank you, Tom. That's wonderful. Another resource. Like Ramon, we have Gerald with his Tarot the Stashaway. We have Ramon with all his videos on learning how to read the tarot and different forms of divination. We have Tom, with his books and his library for his spiritual practices. It's wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful.
Wonderful, wonderful.
And Fatima, I caught myself. Fatima. Fatima, while I have you here, have you and Odelia ever been to Lewiston, New York, where we have the big Fatima shrine? I'm wondering if you've ever been there. I go there at least once a year to get some water from the Fatima shrine and to look at the Mother Mary statues. Um, so don't worry about the typing. So there's Odelia. I think I already got Odelia. Alrighty. So far, I have 3 shifting veils. Wait a minute, Ange didn't pop in there. Ange, I do have you. 3 shifting veils, flowing, Fatima, Odelia, and let me go ahead. The chat must have jumped, so let me get you in there. Alrighty, so that's who we have so far. And I had a feeling that one individual might have been a troll earlier, and I think they're gone. So,
Are we? How many? 3 cards?
whatever you're drawn to pull, my dear.
Okay. Okay. And we're doing.
Let's start with Ange. She was the first one.
Okay. Well, I am ready for Ange. Okay. Ange.
Well, okay.
Here we go. The first card that I got for you is from the Lemuria deck, and I love this for you. It's first of all, it's beautiful, but the message is really what I like. Here, I'm going to have to get a little light on the subject here. Let me bring it down. Whoa. Okay. As Lemurians were only partially incarnated, their bodies were much lighter, less physically actualized, and less affected by aging. They were also aware of their infinite nature. This card of rebirth can appear after challenges that have required a level of surrender. You have arrived at a beginning. Revel in your newfound inner freedom. Blockages have fallen away, and there are opportunities to step into. Stretch your wings and arise like a phoenix, born anew, ready for a new cycle of growth. Celebrate, honor the road that brought you here, and prepare to take flight with the tools you have gathered through your elevation process. Now, the second card that I got that came out of the Sacred She Tarot is the card of grief. And I know that you have recently had to embrace grief in your life. And many tears were shed on that beautiful, beautiful flower. And just know that we all care. We all care about, what you've had to go through. And you know, this is part of the process of your growth. You know, how you handled that and how you embraced it. The third card is the card of balancing. And I love this for you because, you know, we all have a lot to balance. But what I see, you know, we're talking about the divine feminine. And what I see with the yin and the yang is the yin is the feminine. There's darkness and there's light and there's that beautiful rainbow. And, you know, he's balancing on an angel's feather. You know, he's balancing on a feather. And I think this is absolutely remarkable because to the left where well, let's see, I think it's on the right for you, the moon, there's water underneath the moon and there's earth underneath the sun. And this card just encompasses everything in our world. Oh, that's my Lily. Sorry. um,
You
but
sound
anyhow,
so cute.
we have a lot that we have to balance. And I think that you are balancing everything beautifully. This is kind of a message from Spirit to let you know that you're doing good. And that's what I have for you, Ange. I'll get this light back up here. Oh, my goodness.
Well, I have something interesting. I am just going to go find where she has, because I want to see what this, because you know how your first card was from your Lemuria deck?
Huh?
Look what my card says.
Oh, wow. You can't make it up.
You can't. And she doesn't do these in alphabetical order. At least not in this deck she didn't. My goodness, where's Lemuria? I can't find Lemuria. Go within. Lemuria is within.
Yes.
So yeah, that's kind of odd, but okay. I'll just read it because the message is right there. So Ange, I got Lemuria. I'll start off just like Nancy did with the Lemurian message, and it says here, creating heaven on earth, and it's happening. So during this time, there's grief, but there's also a celebration of life. There is time. Not only is Grandma starting a new life on the other side, but for you, taking the time that you need now for yourself. Um, this is so needed right now, and it's a time to be excited because now you have the time from, and according to these cards, to really start tapping into who you are, what you are capable of, what your power is, what your ability is, and what you feel is your soul's purpose. And Lemuria was, from what they understand, one of the purest forms of living of a civilization on this planet. There was a very lightness to the bodies. They weren't so dense and heavy and thick as we are now. They were very spiritual. They were very tapped into the earth and treated the earth with respect. And they lived amongst the creatures, amongst themselves, in peace, and understood the, the cosmic sky. They understood about portals and our brothers and sisters from other planets, or if people don't want like necessarily like their brothers sisters, our fellow other fellow beings, you know, in other worlds. So Lemuria was a beautiful place where just purity, okay, clean living, clean healing, clean um, place of absolute joy. I mean, they were like, I'm seeing the word ultimate healers. The next card I have for you is from my Rose Oracle, and it says rapture, sensuality, love, devotion, romance, ecstasy, and pleasure. And yet, this could be all very well on a sexual and sensual basis of our lives, could reflect that, but also the love and the devotion we show to ourselves. And again, these are always such beautiful messages for the collective. Remembering that to take care of our needs, to make sure that we're eating properly, sleeping properly, um, giving time to ourselves, making sure that we are in a good place emotionally, mentally, spiritually. And I love the word pleasure too. It's things that bring you joy. Being out in nature, working in a garden, creating a piece of art, listening to music, whatever opens up and brings that ecstatic joy to you. So this is a beautiful time to experience that rapture, to go ahead and start exploring who you are. And I pulled from the Astral Realms Crystal Oracle, and I got for you Aragonite. And it's a fire element, and it's all about, again, initiation, lighting that fire, the rapture, exploring your creativity, that passion. And what I love here, it says it's also ignition, revelation, and radiation. And are you spending too much time procrastinating or finding reasons to avoid something rather than reasons to succeed at it? Ask yourself why you're putting off or delaying becoming who you are meant to be, and understand that this is the time, that this is your one and only life, and the time is now. And that's as far as I'm going to read with that, because I think that message right off the start is a powerful one, because now you have that time to explore that rapture, that ecstasy of what makes you happy, what awakens your spirit, your soul. And a beautiful little affirmation that goes with this is, I ignite flames within me to move forward towards my destiny and what I desire. So that's what I have for you, Ange. Yes, joy again, Rosanna. Everyone find your joy,
Excuse me.
because when we live in our joy and we're happy and we don't get sucked down into the muck of everything that goes on or they try to throw at us, it just, you know, makes us stronger and shows that we are resilient, all of us, on all levels. So I know Lemuria. I was told I had a past life, just one. I think it might have been more, but I'll take at least one. And you okay, Nancy?
I am fine, just coughing away over here. I'm sorry.
Okay. Don't be sorry. Just want to make sure you're okay. You got plenty of sip sip.
I do.
Um, let's see. Ange says, I will embrace the frequency of Lemuria. Oh boy, being called out on the procrastination. We all do it. We all do it. So, and Ange also said, Nancy, surrender and grief have certainly been themes for me lately, and balance makes sense too. Yes, thank you, Nancy. Kiss hug. Aw. So let me go ahead and take Ange out of the, and we have three shifting veils. I like to call her veils. Hey veils, I hope you don't mind. I love the word veils. One of my favorite words to use in my poems. I love the image and, you know, the sound of the word and the way it looks when you write it. It's just a beautiful, beautiful word. So we're going to pull for three shifting veils. And hello, Lorraine. Lorraine is joining us. Okay, where am I getting pulled to for? Ooh, okay.
Um, Three shifting veils. I have three cards for you. I think the first one I'm going to show you is I pulled it from the witch deck. Um, and I wanted to read this to you because it's I don't know if you're familiar. Are you familiar with Spider Woman?
Me? Or,
No.
oh, veils.
Uh,
Okay, veils.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm
veils.
looking this.
Um,
Yep, she's here.
this is what it says, and I think this is fascinating. An old Native American story about grandmother spider goes like this. Once upon a time, a mighty hunter went searching for a symbol of hope and survival for his people. He embarks on a quest to find their sacred animal, wondering if elk or deer or buffalo might appear. Instead, he runs into a giant spider web. Face first, meeting Grandmother Spider.
Ooh.
Why have you interrupted me, Grandmother? You're not powerful like buffalo or swift as deer. How am I to share you as a symbol of power? Grandmother Spider answers, you who run over the plains and forests looking for a symbol like deer and buffalo. Page here. Animals that roam the mountains in search of sustenance, spending so much energy. How much more powerful am I? I can build a net and let my food and my answers come to me. I have no travel, no big expenditure of energy. I simply build my silk net and let sustenance come to me. Now is the time to build your net. The answers, the resources, and the solutions will come to you. A woman in total control of herself creates an intentional web. She lines it with silken hope, thoughtful preparation, and badass skills. Then she invites, she waits and watches. She trusts Grandmother Spider's example and allows the answers to come to her. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely love that. And the next card that I got for you has to do with, I think, what we've been talking about with the spark within is worship at the temple. And we are the temple. You know, we have that spark of light within us, and we need to honor this temple that carries our eternal soul in it. And you know, that's a very precious thing, because I believe in reincarnation, and I believe that there is this soul has been with me for millennia, however you pronounce it. And I think it's very, very important for us to do that. And I think that's a message for everyone, actually. Mm-hmm. And the final card that came out for you, Vales, is the card of joy. And
there's the joy again.
I think it is so important for all of us to embrace joy, to be very intent on how good things can be, you know. The glass is always half full. It's not half empty. And I think, I mean, just look at the animals. You know, animals, they're so happy. You know, they don't worry. They don't worry about all this stuff. You know, if they've got food and water and somebody to love them, they're happy. You know, and I just love this for you. So thank you for letting me read for you.
And I was putting her responses on the screen. She never really heard of Spider Woman, Grandmother Spider Woman. She says, that's a beautiful message. Thank you. And I've been working on letting my spark sparkle. I love that. And joy again, right, Carmela? Flowing. You're mentioning joy. Joy keeps coming back up. And Peace Mama said, this is the third time this week I've seen the Spider Woman. Cool for you to at Vales. And she was actually in part of my poem last night. I really, you know, write with Spider Woman, and she, you know, got into my my poem for the main one last night. So lots of messages. And hello, Judith. She also said silver linings. Exactly. Just finishing work and saw you both were on. Well, thank you for joining us. And so Vales, what I have for you, and it's interesting because Nancy and I went for the same deck. I went from the Witch Oracle, and what I was showing earlier with Ellen of the Tribe. Well, you got the Sovereign. You got her representation as well that came through. These cards are very glossy, so I'm trying to hold it so the light you can see it, not it gets glossed over. But it's all about being sovereign to yourself, the way you see life, the way you perceive life, and the way you live your life. I'm going to share here some of what she wrote. Um, Sovereignty is the ability to belong to oneself. It shows up as confidence in one's self worth and integrity rather than in one's productivity, prettiness, or performance. This isn't taught in school, and you'll be hard pressed to find much written on the subject because women who belong to themselves are hard to control. They know their value, have boundaries, and speak truth to power. This makes them dangerous in the best sort of way. I like that. Um, and one other I'm going to read down here is stop letting others control the weather of your experience and your reign, as in not rain, but your reign. She's one of my favorites in this deck. I absolutely love her. And I pulled from my crystal deck for you, and I got black tourmaline. And the main connection with this deck for black tourmaline is regeneration. And according to this deck creator, is ruled by Pluto. And protection, purification, and grounding. This is what black tourmaline is very excellent for, especially working through traumas, shadow work, or just, if your energies are up over high during the day, or you feel like something isn't right around and you need to get grounded and you need to feel that protection. Black tourmaline is a great stone to have for that. And just a little, take this moment to remind YouTube and anybody on playback and in chat that these are readings are for entertainment purposes only. Always seek medical, and professional advice. So this is just us sharing information that we're finding in our cards. So regeneration is the act of physically and spiritually becoming anew. Um, so with the sovereign card, it feels like you are starting to take back your power. You are looking at how you want to be spiritually. You're looking at how you want to practice, how you want to believe, how you want to work with your own personal magic, your own energy, what you want to bring forth into this world. And that black tourmaline feels like this is there to help you stay protected from any negative energy or thoughts or words or pettiness, that people might, send out to you. It says, when you're on a path towards enlightenment, it causes you to lead a life you did not lead before. So you will be experiencing changes of behaviors, thoughts, actions, reactions, and to regenerate your spirit. And I'm going to skip ahead because they associate Pluto with this card. And it says here, where did I find where they're just talking about Pluto? So here, Pluto reveals, wait a minute, here we go. One planet that relates all too well to regeneration and challenging your shadow self is Pluto. Larger than life, omnipotent, alchemical Pluto has a force that is among the most intense of all the heavenly bodies in the solar system. If life seems like a personal hell, look to Pluto for help, but don't expect him to do the heavy lifting for you. So again, like Nancy and I mentioned, in some of our readings, these cards are like little guideposts, little suggestions, in ways from spirit, to be able to help you moving forward in your life. And it's a reminder that spirit is there to give you this insight, but we have to do the grunt work. We have to do the work. We have to take responsibility for our our spiritual growth, our emotional growth, and our well-being. So I just love that the stone of protection coming in as you're stepping into your power and reclaiming your power. That is beautiful. And there is one there's an affirmation that she includes with this, and I think a lot of people will love this. I love this. I embrace my darkness. I acknowledge the shadow that is part of myself. I call in regeneration and rebirth to cleanse all that is no longer serving my highest good.
Mm.
And that's what I have for you, veils. 3 shifting veils. And alrighty. So we are at 6:13. We still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How much energy do you have and time, Nancy? Because we may not be able to get to everybody.
I'm fine. Let's see. Who is flowing next? Or
Flowing is next. Yes.
okay, and then I've got Fatima and Odelia, and then Judith also.
I don't know, Judith, if we can, because Soul Sister also asked for a reading, and so
okay,
did Peace Mama.
In there, okay. Let's see.
Unless somebody would like to maybe give up who we might read a lot for, who would be willing. No pressure, but Judith,
we could just see how it goes.
Okay.
I'm ready. I'm ready for flowing. The reason I wanted to know is so I could pull cards while, to kind of keep it moving.
Yes.
Keep it moving.
Alrighty, so let me just go ahead. Judith, I will add you to the list, but we may or may not, but we do ask. So up next will be Flowing, and then we have Fatima, Odelia, and then Soul Sister. And then from there, we'll see how our energy is and what time we're at for Peace Mama and for Judith.
Flowing, I have 3 cards for you, and I'm going to start with this one because it kind of wraps up what the other 2 say. It's know yourself. Know all the good stuff, and the stuff maybe you don't like so much is still good stuff, but you know how we are. And so it's important for you to know yourself. The card that I got, now I have never heard of this deity before. Her name is Myra, Myra Bai, or Bai, the Saint of True Freedom. And she is an Indian goddess. And what it says on this card is, love is what sets me free. I am married to my own soul.
Oh, she's beautiful.
When you think about that, married to your own soul. And I looked up in the book, and this is what it says. Here, I'm going to hold her up while I do this so you can see her, because she is beautiful. It says, for Mirabai, her true husband wasn't the one she was married to. The love that made her brave, the love that inspired her every poem and action, was a divine love for Krishna. So the laws that bound her to the strict expectation of being a wife didn't actually apply to her. Love asks us to look at what really matters to us and at what we truly value. And love asks us to bravely defy expectations in order to be true to ourselves. Love wants us to marry our own soul. And the soul voice meditation is what holds me back from expressing my truth. And this is where, the knowing yourself comes in. And the final card that I got for you, Flowing, is from the Sacred She Tarot. And you got the card of repression. And this says, one of the most difficult and yet most empowering things I have experienced was coming face to face with my own self-hatred. That recognition exposed the extent of my efforts to hide all that was considered wrong in me by my family, school, church, society at large. The belief that some flaw within me ran so deep that my very survival depended upon burying the shame of it in the darkness of my subconscious and unconscious. Weakness, fearfulness, rage, terrible cravings, petrifying my body, freezing my emotion, and stubbornness, self-righteousness. And it says, many of us have been taught from childhood that anger is bad and expressing it, it's improper. Life isn't fair, we're told. That's the way it is. We should just suck it up and move on. So when anger or a sense of injustice arises, we snuff it down, repress it. Often we condemn and blame ourselves for having those horrible feelings in the first place. However, it's precisely our untamed, fierce nature that empowers our capacity to endure against all odds by expressing an intense focus or response that doesn't back down when confronted. Anger festers when repressed, then gnawing discomfort rises from our unacceptable thoughts and feelings that need to escape the tight lid that we've put on them. This image encourages you to unearth and befriend the unruly, visceral aspect of your nature. Living in fear of this quality keeps you fragmented, afraid to stand up for yourself and set yourself free. This inner alchemy transforms damaged goods into treasure. Acknowledge the good, the bad, and the ugly. Unshackle the power of your wild and primitive heart and transform fear into courage. That was long, but I think it's important. I think this is important for all of us. It's and that's why it's so important to know yourself, because you have to trust that we are enough, and that we are perfect the way we are. And if there's anything that is repressing us, we need to find out what it is and fix it. And that's what I have for you, Flowing.
So while you were reading, Flowing says, "Oh, I love that," when you were reading the first card. And then repressed by myself for something that was done to me. That message really hit my heart. And yes, I'm letting it go, Nancy, and thank you. So, and Mazi concurs, huh? So when you were reading, Peace Mama was willing to give Judith her place, and I said it's okay. Peace Mama said you could have her place, and we appreciate Peace Mama doing that. But Judith does want to decline, so Peace Mama, you will still be in for a reading. Then I don't want anyone to feel that So yeah, she's still saying no. They're going no, no, no. You. We'll see how things go, lady. And yes, a lot of these readings are for collective as well. And so, Flowing, what I have for you. Let me put me on the biggie screen here for a second. You want to say hi? Say hello to everybody. Say hi, everybody. Hi, Flowing. And Rosanna's in here too. She's got a black kitty. Yes, she does. So we're going to put you down now. He wanted to say hello. And there you go. Because if I don't do that and I'm reading for you, he's going to get upset. He's going to go into my leg. Yes, he is very handsome. Okay, so Flowing, to start right up, when Nancy mentioned that something was being shattered, I did get a card that shows that. But so I pulled from my Rose Oracle, and I also pulled from the Work Your Light Oracle. And the first card from the Work Your Light, I don't know what you are working on or thinking about, but I got a big emphatic no. That was the first card that came out. It says wait, postpone, pose, or say no. And so I wanted to ask, what does I need a clarifier for this for you? And when Nancy was talking about things being shattered, what did I get? Look at this card. Or being fractured. Right now, there's something going on within your life that you need to like really start working on getting yourself put together. You have to start bringing things into alignment. And I think with this no card is that there may be something that you are planning to do. I'm feeling it has something to do with somebody wanting you to do something that you feel does not align with who you are becoming, who you are, and the healing that you need to do. And it's like you're saying, no, this is not who I am anymore. I feel like too that this is kind of like shattering that old image of who you are. And now all these beautiful pieces are going to come back. And it says right now what is not aligned or needs to be changed. And so as you're looking at the pieces around you, you choose and pick what it is that you want to bring your reflection back into who you are, who you want to be. Saying no to anybody who has no business telling you what that should be. And the card that I have for you, flowing from the Rose Oracle, and I'm going to see really quick here, um, because I think there's an affirmation to go with this. And let me just find her. It's called We Are Nature. And it's about becoming grounded, embodiment, and living in connection. So this is about becoming whole again. Being out in nature is a beautiful form of medicine and meditation. And there's this woman in here, and she's like connecting into. It's like she's holding onto the roots, and it's almost like she's taking like the vocal cords, and it's like now you're going to be able to speak your own truths, your inner feminine wisdom, your inner self is going to be in control of saying what it is that you want to do. But becoming grounded is important. Living in connection with your higher self, with your truth, is what's important. And there is a soul inquiry, okay, into this. Um, Something jumped out before I get to that, and it says, what's your relationship with your own body? How can you live in a more grounded way? So, this is really physically, this feels like it's not just spiritual, but it's a physical work that needs to be done. Um, and getting grounded, being out in nature. And I just saw that you love nature. So, for you, that's your holy place. That's your healing sanctuary. That's where you go to, rebirth, to regenerate. And there's a soul inquiry, and there's two prompts that she gives for journaling, and anybody else who wants to write this as well and maybe use this for a journaling prompt. And the first one is, how can you connect more deeply with nature and your own true nature? And the second one is, how can you return more to the earth? How can you get back to the earth more? And that's what I have for you, Flowing. I hope that resonates, sweetheart. It's always a joy reading for you, my dear.
Beautiful. Beautiful
Hmm.
reading.
And that's like for a lot of us, what do we need to say no to? Like right now, with everything going on in the world, all in our face, no, not going to live in fear. No, you're not going to. No, and it's just really putting up those boundaries. And instead of that shattered picture being scary, think of it's like a mosaic. You're picking
Mhm.
out the pieces and you're creating a beautiful mosaic of who you are. So, um, um, yeah, our fur babies our are part of our soul. So let me see, make sure I didn't miss anything. Alrighty. So, hello, Kitty. Okay, she's beautiful. Oh my God, that picture. Yeah, a lot of changes going on. Yes, I love nature. It's my soul. That's where you go. You know. Um, Same here with me. There are places I'll go to when I need to really, release and let go of. Thank you, Heather. I have a lot to give. Yes, you do. We all do. And you give so much, Flowing, or Carmela, by being here and sharing the space with all of us. Just your presence, you being here. Everybody remember, repeat after me. I am enough. I am worthy. Know thyself. All righty. So next is Fatima. Do you have cards already, Miss
I
Nancy?
do. I
All
do.
righty.
Uh, well, Fatima, I always have to pull a Mother Mary for you.
Mm-hmm.
And the card that I pulled is, I just think, absolutely beautiful. It is Our Lady of the Rose Child. Our Lady protects you from unnecessary struggle. Yet there are some challenges that are essential for your soul to grow. These challenges will not be withheld from you because you are entitled to become your full self. You are currently outgrowing that which is too small for your soul. There may be suffering, but out of this will come deep healing, self love, and gratitude. Your freedom shall come swiftly. And I love that for you because the second card is the card of timing. And I think that the timing is now. Um, it shows like some frozen hands, with snow around them, but the crocuses are blooming.
Ooh, there
They're
we
so beautiful. I love that. And I see that as your soul blooming and your soul growing, no matter what is around it that might be trying to
go.
deter it. And the final card I have for you is this is a teeny tiny, a teeny tiny card. Let me hold it up so you can see it. It's a card to enliven and rebirth, and it is you are destined to initiate divine celebrations for healing joy. Healing joy. That's what I have for you, Fatima.
Okay. Just I haven't seen them talking, so I'm just asking if they're still in chat, just so that we know. Beautiful. I got to give me that pocket one because I like how they write, the messages on the back because she is just so. There's just so much to remember with those cards. Okay, yes, she's still here. It resonates. Thank you so much, Nancy. And so, what I have for you is let's start with my. I haven't pulled this deck yet tonight. It's called The Healing Heart by Jenna Della Grottalia. And it's called The Cautious Heart. And it says, have enough wisdom to get back up. And when you look at this, the shell looks beautiful with all the barnacles and everything growing on it. But something I learned in Arizona is that because of the pollutions and things that are being put into the waters, into the oceans, a lot of like when you go to a metaphysical store and you see those abalone shells, there are a lot more showing up that have all these hard encrusted barnacles on them. It's because they're trying to protect themselves. They're trying to keep, because they are a living creature until they no longer are. And so there's that sense of protection. I mean, it looks beautiful, but it's also reminding you you have a cautious heart. And so just to be aware, we've been reading for you, Fatima, and Odelia for a while, and we know a little bit about some of the things and issues with what goes on with family. But whatever it is, you have the wisdom, and you have Mother Mary to guide you through. You have a caution heart. Be cautious around the people that you know are not good for your heart, and to I think you know who those people are when they come around. So I think sometimes you might kind of feel that going in and around your heart. But with all those other people, you have these beautiful cards from the Rose Oracle. I have Release the Petals, Transformation, Death and Rebirth, Shedding All Change. So this is all about taking all those things right now in your life, um, the ones that you don't need to have that caution, those barnacles in and around your heart. But all those worries, those things no longer that serve you, all the pain, sadness, whatever it is, just to let them go. And sometimes they're even happy memories that sometimes with certain people we have to let go of. but just releasing the petals, releasing your prayers, releasing your sighs, your mourning in this valley of tears. See, I still remember my rosary, Fatima. So releasing and letting that go, and letting that and what's left step out of that bloom and be reborn. And the last card I have for you is open. So the other card was about caution, kind of closing down the heart to those that are that are not good for it, that protection for those that deserve there's the open, saying yes, expanding through the extremes and trusting life again. Toss those petals to the wind, toss those memories, those sadness, those things that no longer serve you. Toss those beautiful petals to the wind, give them as gifts to Spirit, to Mother Mary, to everybody that's part of your spiritual path, even in honoring of yourself, and then be open and to receiving the love that you deserve to have in your life. And that's what I have for you, my dear.
It's beautiful.
And that is beautiful. Thank you. I know who they are. I protect myself, send love, peace out. Yeah. I didn't know that about the barnacles with the shells. And so that was something I learned before I left Arizona. A customer came into our store. She does or she did African shamanic healing, I believe it was. She was one of the ones. It was either her or native. Might have been eagle spirit, but that's what they taught me. Um, so yeah, it resonates. Thank you so much, Nancy. So even if I don't see Odelia in chat, I know she's with you, Fatima. So I'm going to give you right over to Nancy, and Christina from Down Under. Good morning, Christina. Thank you for joining us. And I'll give you over to Nancy.
Odelia, I drew from the same decks that I did for your sister. And this is what I got for you. From the Mother Mary deck is Our Lady of the Rose Crown. You are crossing a threshold in your life. You have been readying yourself for this, likely without fully realizing it. It can take years of preparation to approach such a point in one's path. Our Lady watches over you with all knowing tenderness and fierce protection. Only what you need shall come to you. Spiritual testing shall give way to deep peace and sacred fulfillment. The second card for you is the card of solitude. And I think Spirit is saying that you need to have some time alone with your thoughts. You could just sit out in the backyard in a chair under a tree, um, and just listen and see what you hear. Um, Listen for your guides and angels, your higher self, and embrace that spark that's within you. The final card, looks to me like a bird of paradise, but it says sovereign and purity. Breathe into timeless openness to receive future ancient wisdom. And I think that the wisdom will come through Our Lady, but also through the solitude and communing uh, with your guides that are all around you and love you so much. And that's what I have for you.
Oh, how beautiful. And I went ahead and pulled from the same decks too, because the sisters have that energy. And I'm glad I kept my healing heart light out, because I pulled from that deck for you too. And I have the healing heart, Odelia. And it says to face your shadow and grow. So again, talking about the shadow self. And it's beautiful. You see the shadow, someone going, no, I can't look at that, but the hands are showing you. But look how beautiful. Look at all the colors and the rainbows and the deep blue depths of your heart, of your shadow. And so it's a gift that you're given the shadow to work with it and not to be afraid. Um, and so that's what I have for you from this deck. And when we do, I mean, I got the bloom for you. It's about creations realized. This is the right time. This is the time to harvest. But what's really standing out is celebrate. And I know you and Fatima went to a wedding, I believe, over the weekend. And so it's just, this is that time of year where we're inspired by our rose bushes and the way they bloom and they smell so beautiful. They remind us too that we're like them, that we bloom and we grow, and we need to realize our potential and to realize what we need to make ourselves blossom and to grow and to remember to celebrate ourselves. Um, I mean, we shouldn't wait for someone to do that for us. We have to love ourselves enough to be able to celebrate who we are and where we've come from, especially as we're working through that shadow work. Um, and the other card I have for you for the Rose Oracle is the Rose Garden, forgiveness. But what stands out to me, because you're doing, the card recommends shadow work, be gentle with yourself. And this is a really powerful message for all of us. Just being gentle with ourselves. We hold those blossoms, those flowers to us, whatever those flowers or blossoms represent. And when we hold that to our hearts, know that we are worthy of love. We are worthy of our self love and the healing that we can give ourselves. I mean, it's hard for us to do that. I'm one of those people. I'm Reiki 1 and 2. And do I ever do Reiki on myself? No. Something holds me back. So this is about being able to trust in our abilities to heal ourselves. Because once we can heal ourselves, then, the people who are around us that deserve to have that love can be healed when they see us healing. It's again that reflection of like when we were talking about earlier in the beginning of the show, where everybody we meet is a lesson, and what we reflect, you know off of ourselves, other people see, and vice versa, and how we can take that and learn to use that to help ourselves heal and to grow. Um, so that's what I have for you, Odelia. And she says, wow, I love it very much. Thank you, Nancy. All righty. So next up is Dancing Soul Sister. And how are you doing, Nancy, with your
I'm doing
energy?
well. How are you holding up, Heather?
I'm fine. Do we want to just finish? Yeah. Do.
We've got Soul Sister and we've got Peace Mama, right?
Yep. And Judith says she understands that she was late coming to the party. But do you think we might have energy for Judith as well?
Oh, I would always have energy for Judith.
Okay, so Judith, Peace Mama, you both can have your reading. So I just want to make sure that Nancy's energy,
Uh,
was good.
just, I tell you what, and I have a lovely message for Soul Sister. Um,
Alrighty, well let me get you over there.
the first card that I pulled, Soul Sister, is from the Lemurian deck, and it's regarding your root chakra, which is so important to all of us. Uh, Ground and center. The image speaks of finding home within yourself, a sense of deep inner peace, and a strong sense of grounding and being centered. Here, you can fly free from the grips of survival into a place of thriving. There is trust, connection to community, and you can rely on others and joyfully understand your responsibilities in turn. You are held and have strong foundations for all aspects of life. With your guard down, you have the tools to ride the waves if you need. Everything is okay. And I love that here's joy again. The second card that I got is the card that says the turning point. And, it's talking about grounding. I think it's important for you to get outside with nature. Nature restores our soul. It restores our inner strength. when we connect with it. And you also had the card of grounding. And look, she's got a beautiful rainbow colored jacket on, and the sunlight's ahead. She's walking through those beautiful trees, and I could just picture you doing that. And while you're walking, listen to this music of your soul. This is very important. You know, I think we overlook this. Heather loves music, and I love music, and our souls love music. And so when you are walking and you're doing this and you're grounded and you're one with nature, listen to that music that you hear, because it's just for you. That's what I have for you.
Ooh, how beautiful. All righty. So she says root chakra. Yes.
Mm.
So that's the comment that I saw. And so I pulled three and I went for the witch oracle and I got the rescuer. And here, let me, there we go. We can see the, if I back it up a little bit, see the imagery, the color. I just love this. And I'm just going to get right to the back of when she mentions a witch's comment. And before I do, is that not the cutest little picture she put in there? Look
Aw.
at that little lamb. That's why I cannot eat lamb. I mean, look at that face. Oh my
So pretty.
goodness. Yes. So soul sister, a witch, a woman in total control of herself, however, knows that her empathy must have boundaries. So this is about the person who always feels like they have to rescue everybody, or people coming to her to make them feel like you have to rescue them. They know you are empathic, that you are compassionate, that you are kind, and sometimes they take advantage of that, kind of like an energetic or emotional vampire, just taking it and expecting to be rescued. And because of your beautiful, kind heart, they do that. And so I'm going to finish reading what it says here. She helps those who help themselves, jumping in to assist rather than save or fix. She trusts that others have their own guides and their own soul's code to assist their journey, just as she does. She's willing to resist the impulse to caretake or rescue, allowing others the opportunity to grow, expand, and develop their own agency. Now is the time to resist the urge to manage another's experience and keep your precious empathic energy in balance. And for my fellow readers in the chat and those who, may not have a YouTube channel but also read for others, this is a great message where we have certain people that we know that keep coming asking the same questions. It's always coming from a fear base, hoping that maybe to get a different answer or hoping that spirit will do this for them. This is an incredibly powerful card, and I love how it says that the that she trusts that others have their own guides and their own soul's code to assist their journey. Is to help them, is to assist them rather than saving or fixing. So this is a really important message, because all of our energies are precious. And yes, Tom, I thought of the Depeche Mode song Precious. I love that song. One of my favorite songs by them. It's a beautiful song. If anybody ever wants Precious Things by Depeche Mode, it's a gorgeous song. Um, and it says here just to keep your precious empathic energy in balance. And Nancy was saying going for a walk in the woods or walking in nature. I got Dancing with the Stones. I pulled from two other decks that I haven't pulled from tonight. This is from the Rebecca Campbell Ancient Stones Oracle. Dancing with the Stones, movement, teamwork, partnership. So again, it's connecting with that first card instead of expecting having people expect you to fix everything or to rescue them. join them, show them that they have the, give them the power to show them that they can help themselves. You're working in partnership with others. There is a teamwork. And when that happens, then everything gets done more quickly. There's a beautiful movement. There's a beautiful creation of energy. And there's this beautiful ripple effect from that as well. And I just love that little star that's up there as well. Um, so go dance out in nature, play with the stones, pick them up, talk to them, touch the trees, talk to the trees. And then the other card I pulled from you is from her star seed deck, and it's deep cellular healing. So I'm not familiar with Arcturus energy, but physical and emotional well being. So again, making sure that people do not drain you, take advantage of you, learning to say no, putting up the boundaries, or and you, when you do that, you draw the people that you can do the beautiful dancing with the stones with. You all work together in tandem to create this beautiful ripple of energy and light, and on a deep cellular level that helps you heal and brings you emotional happiness and balance. And that's what I have for you. And Nor, I'm sorry, but we questions are closed for the night. But as always, our readings are collective. So if you feel drawn to stay with us, please do. And we appreciate everybody coming in and saying hi to Nancy and I. And next up is Peace Mama. And I'm just going to give you right over to Nancy.
Yes, Peace Mama. I have three really um, lovely cards for you. The first one is from the uh, woman in total control of herself, and and I want to read this. And this, talking about people who are coming in, this is a good collective um, message for all of us from the Divine Feminine. It's the weaver of the red tent.
Ooh, yes.
And it's long ago, the red tent was a place women gathered together to tell their stories, weave their futures, and shed their past, along with their menstrual blood. Losing the red tent and the village life associated with it has resulted in a loss of healthy interdependence. We've forgotten how much we need each other and how precious unstructured time together can be. We continually feel the pressure to perform, produce, fix, create, heal, help without ever acknowledging our own needs. We've been raised to think of need as a bad word, a condition that makes us weak, inferior. But ultra independence is a trauma response. When we deny our own need, eschewing the very thing that makes us human and interconnected, we forfeit our belonging and eject ourselves from the circle of life, the cynical process of giving and receiving, which results in growing. A witch is willing to make herself vulnerable, to ask for what she needs and receive help without shame, whether she has a village, a small circle of friends with whom to make her own red tent ceremonies, or just one sister or friend. She knows her sacred charge is to pay attention to her own needs first, unabashedly. She allows herself to ask for what she needs, which frees up the energetic space to offer what she can without the pressure of saving, fixing, or caretaking. So I think this is a very important card, and we need to remember to take care of ourselves, because if we can't take care of ourselves, we really can't take care of anybody else. It's very important for us to focus on ourselves. It's very important for you, Peace Mama. The second card that I got
Oops.
is the card of communion. And when I look at this and read it intuitively, I see this sweet little girl surrounded by beautiful animals and communing. It shows me communing with nature, communing with the things that you see, the birds in the sky, a spider making its web, a beautiful owl, and a bird up above there. I love this type of communion. And what I did was, because of all these animals, and there's an owl and a dove, and it looks like a heron and ducks. I went to the Totem Guardian deck that I have, and the card that came out was the Snowy Owl. And I looked up in my book that talks about what the animals mean, and I don't know if an owl is your totem or your spirit animal, but what this says is, meditate in silence and in darkness for a few minutes each evening for the next few days and see what is revealed to you. Peace, Mama. Be alert to any deception on the part of others, whether they're aware of it or not, and look closely behind any guises that they may wear. This is a particularly ripe period to tap into the fount of intuitive wisdom that's available to you. Quietly observe your environment, watching and listening for signs and omens that will give you answers to any questions that you might have. And I love that for you. A snowy owl. I saw a snowy owl once, and it was just so very precious. So I don't know. This owl looks like it loves you. Peace, Mama. That's what I have.
Aww. And she has been sharing in chat. I've been trying to highlight all these. No. And so she says, oh my gosh, I am doing that right now. That's clarification that I'm on the right path. Thank you. And yes, I am a multiple trauma survivor. Beautiful. Survivor. I like that. Rena. And she says, oh my God, the communion is my child within. Oh. That's beautiful. All righty. And Judith also said, Heather and Nancy, thank you for having all of us and taking your time to read. And y'all are so very welcome. And Christina, Heather, you mentioned hugging trees for energy. The best tree to hug is a birch tree. Apparently, it has a strong, peaceful energy around it. Very nice. Yes. Learning about the trees. And Peace Mama also said, the white owl sparked my abilities at 18. Trying to get them back and open up. Wow. There you go. So, thanks for
sharing that, Peace Mama. Yes.
I love when we share. Everybody shares. So, Peace Mama. I'm looking at which card to start with. I'll save the crystal. I end up pulling a crystal, but I pulled 3 cards from my Rose Oracle. And I got the Wild Rose. And it says, do it your way. Embrace your uniqueness. Untamed. So again, that's allowing yourself to be who you are. You said that you are working on reopening yourself. You're healing from traumas. And by doing that, you are taking control. You're taking power over your life. And you're doing it your way. You're doing what feels right for you. And that beautiful untamed wildness, that nature, you may have felt like that was stuffed down, like, that's, I just heard that's unladylike. Sit quietly, keep your clothes clean. You know how a lot of us girls, when a lot of us when we're younger, at least I was allowed to be a tomboy at times, but for a lot of us, we were just really told to stuff, to hide our femininity, to not have a voice, not to all that stuff. A lot of that can cause a lot of trauma. And so with that wild rose, it's being that tapping into that wild feminine woman that we all have within us. And I got also the temple of the rose for you. And it's about ancient power, expression, and look at the word activation. You said you're working on getting your abilities back. It's showing that you are. And it says the Scarlet Codes. And the Scarlet Codes are a lot of something similar to what Nancy is reading in this one book about, the rose, the scarlet. She was mentioning the red tent in the beginning. So a lot of that focuses in and around the scarlet, the ability for women to bleed every month, to give birth, not to die. That ability, that power, putting a lot of fear, and men being afraid of women and their power, and thus all these millennia, especially these generations of women just being suppressed to be able to express and be who they are and to get together and to share those moments together. Um, a lot of that's all changing. So the thorn is also is your last card from this deck, and so moving forward, that beautiful blossom of yours, you keep that protected. She's there looking over that. To me, this feels like guides as well, not just you, but your spirit guides. Um, Thorns. Sometimes we need to put up those boundaries, those protections, and be very clear in our communication with others of what we will not accept. And a lot of times we have to do that with ourselves too. When we start to talk down to ourselves, put ourselves down, um, and sometimes we don't even realize we're doing it or we think it's a negative. Example, really quick, people that pop in our poetry, I'll be like, would you like to join us? Oh, I can't write poetry. Are you kidding me? I haven't written this. I go, it would probably sound awful. And people don't realize you are putting your power down. Poetry writing is an expression of your spirit, of your soul. um, and there are times when we don't even realize we're doing that. And a lot of times, even now today with social media being so judgmental, we put something out there, we never know if someone's going to judge, to make fun, to criticize. So a lot of us are feeling like we're being repressed, and this is where we start opening up, start expressing who we are, start basking in who we are, and to do what we need to with those people with the thorns, putting those into place. And with the Temple of the Rose, there's a soul inquiry that you can use for a journal. And it says here, and you can always watch playback too, Peace Mama. How are you being called to call back your power, express your truth, or honor the cyclic nature within? And again, that's a wonderful prompt too for a lot of us, especially this day and time. You know, um, so yes, those are what I have for there. And the crystal card that I have for you is a beautiful peach selenite. And see again, coming together, our spiritual family, um, our guides coming together with us, and also us finding our spirit tribes. And the peach selenite is such a beautiful, soft, healing stone. It talks about, opening up our insights, our third eye, our connection to source and spirit. It's a universal. It opens up. It connects with our universal chakra. But the peach selenite is also a beautiful, soft, healing, energetic stone. When people mention having very strong, painful, traumatic healing that they need to do, when they ask me about crystals, I always recommend like the softer stones right away, like the rose quartz, the calcites, like the pink calcites, the blue, the green, very soft energy. The peach selenites are also very beautiful. It's cleansing, it's healing, and it's calming. So that's what I have for you, Peace Mama. Oh, and look, oh, let me put you on the, and Nancy's got that right there for you.
This peach selenite. Ginger brought this to me when she came to visit. Isn't it beautiful? I just love it.
Oh, very
It
nice.
right here where I can touch it.
Mine's in my cabinet, but they are a wonderful soft energy and they're natural. Oops, my hair's sticking. Like, oh my god. I'm sorry, everybody. I am so conscious when I see, like I got a horn sticking out of my. Not that there's anything wrong with horns. I love Maleficent.
Yes,
But
Judith, you need to, next Sunday you need to put in a poem, because if I
oh
do it,
yes.
you can do it.
So Peace
It's
Mama was
fun.
yes, it is. I enjoy it. Peace Mama was continuing on about the owl. She says he came outside my window for 7 days.
Oh,
Judith says also Mother Willow. I had a very special willow growing up, so a couple of them. So
mhm.
yes, I connect with the willows.
Yeah.
I am the wild rose. I wrote a poem about that when I was 15. And oh my God, that's it, not ladylike. That's the word that popped into my head. So I went with it. Thank you so much, Heather and Nancy. Spirit has hit me from your has I'm that's probably an autocorrect on the phone's part or whatever has hit
Spirit
me.
has hit me from your reading so powerfully
Oh, okay.
that I am having,
Oh,
oh,
well, we're all holding
that's
space for you,
beautiful.
my dear.
You know what you need to do,
Yeah,
Peace
same here.
Mama? You need to have a sacred cloth and catch those tears that come from spirit and never wash it.
Oh,
Just have this and collect your sacred tears.
it's beautiful. And Fatima says, "You are a beautiful person in and out. Peace, Mama. Love and light and many
Yeah.
blessings to you." Oh, thank you, Fatima, for saying that. Yes, peach selenite is beautiful. I love that, Nancy. That is so you. Yes, it is. So, our last reading for the evening, as
Judith.
promised, Judith.
Okay, Judith.
Not for the week ahead, but we're doing, the Divine Femme. So that could very well be your message. And I'm going to give you over to Miss Nancy. Oh, that's not Miss Nancy.
I
That was
I
me.
called that was Miss Heather.
That was me.
Um, I pulled a Kuan Yin for you, Judith,
Ooh.
and I love this for you. To the celestial mountain. You have the ability to invoke divine power, to call the celestial mountain so that you might be gifted with the spiritual energy you need to attain your goals. Permitting being that love you, permitting beings that love you unconditionally to help you is an expression of spiritual empowerment. You empower the divine forces that can assist you to come to your aid and help you manifest your visions. Now, the second card that I got was to seek wonder. And I love this card because just look at that. There's wonder. There's there's wonder everywhere. I mean, I went out on my back my back porch, and there was a praying mantis that was just sitting
Ooh.
there looking at me, and I was looking at him, and or her. Probably was a her, because when they mate, they immediately, upon finishing the mating process, eat the male.
Oh,
Uh, and it gives them nourishment for their eggs. So that's the way it works in the animal kingdom
oh my.
or the bug kingdom. But anyhow, I digress. Um, we need to seek wonder, and one way that you can do that is embracing Mother Nature. You got the Mother Nature card, and just being, I think this comes up a lot because this is what we need. This is the beauty that we have around us all the time. you know and if
Mhm.
if if you're in a place that doesn't have a lot of trees, look up at the sky. It's beautiful. The beautiful clouds.
Mhm.
Sometimes you can see angels in the clouds. Um, but that's what I have for you, Judith. And I think it's important to um, to try and find beauty just anywhere that we possibly can. I think it's very, very important to feed us. And that's what I have.
Wow. Well, I think too, they said that when male bees mate with the queen bee, they die right after. So,
Yeah,
oh,
um,
that's life is interesting,
it
and
sure
she
is.
loves, and she loves
Talk about the
dragonflies.
divine feminine.
Yeah, watch what you say, or I'll bite your head off and eat it. And Judith says, I am in life when in nature, or I'm in love, or I don't know if that meant to be life or love when in nature I was born, since I was born. Okay, that's beautiful.
Well, that
Um,
was just like a confirmation of that, I guess.
mhm.
Yeah.
And Judith, for me, the willow tree remind me of letting go as it surrounds and protects us when sitting underneath. Yep. Oh, several willow trees. Got to listen to Heather's tears. So, alrighty, Judith, what I have for you is from the Witch Oracle. I have the Disciple of Ritual. And this is about doing something that is a ritual that enhances your spiritual practice, your connection to nature. And I love the stones. Again, the beautiful stones, the ancients, the elders, where so much information is kept. And it says here, you are connected to all things. Remembering that is part of your empowerment. Forgetting it is part of your diminishment. When we honor our earth mother, our sky as when we honor our earth as mother, our sky as father, and praise the wind cousins, the water ancestors, the stone family, and the fire friends, we are taking our place in the great family. And I'm going to stop there because going to my other decks I pulled from the stone oracle. And Nancy, I think you might have said in your reading something about a mountain, because I
Mm-hmm.
did get be the mountain,
Mm.
slow and steady foundations and patience. So just yeah, she's beautiful, and so being the mountain, being grounded, being solid in who you are. Um, this connection of remembering and empowerment. It's a slow process, but know that your guides are listening. Your higher power is there. This could be a spirit guide very much, or if there is a mountain that you resonate with. Some of us may live near mountains. I remember one, and there was a very tangible. We called her Lady of the Woods or the Lady of the Mountain, which is very interesting because Stevie Nicks writes a lot of songs about the lady in the mountain, and
Mm.
so it's because it shows the resiliency, the strength, um, the courage it takes, the patience, um, to be that mountain, to embody that mountain energy. And I got the egg stone. This card comes up a lot from this deck. I got the egg stone, and it's about feminine power, embodiment. Again, the fertility, and fertility doesn't have to be having children, but the fertility of birthing new ideas, birthing a new self, um, birthing a new creative endeavor, whatever it is that's creative that we want to bring forth, whether it's artwork, a writing, possibly a child, or just bringing a new change, a transformation to ourselves. Um, there's that egg stone, that egg of possibility, of growth, of fertility. And I wanted to pull a card along with that, and it goes perfectly with the disciples of ritual, where they tend to connect with your ancestors and with the creatures of the earth and the plants and the stones. I got ancestral messages, and so I don't know if you're working with your ancestors or feel like you're being called by your ancestors. but there's a deep, they're saying, listen, your ancestors are having messages for you. They're trying to teach you something. And it's a beautiful reminder about how important our ancestors are and how we all connect together um, in this world. And it's just really, and I love how I can just segue now, um, Judith, because next Monday, Allison, Aries Girl Tarot, is going to join Nancy and I, and I'm asking her if she can discuss her ancestor altar. She was the first person that I ever heard of that actually has ancestral image pictures of her ancestors that she connects with, and she goes through a ritual that she talks about with saying names and creating it and being a part of her spiritual practice. So connecting with the ancestors that we feel drawn and asking them for help when we need that. That's just a beautiful. And then you can't see, but there's her going up to the stone and speaking to the stone and asking the ancestors too of that stone, not just
Mm-hmm.
our ancestors. Because, you know, what blows my mind, Nancy, is that people keep, ask, well, do you believe in reincarnation? Yes. But then when you see how many people are constantly, being born and then, dying, and people wonder, well, maybe that's just memories that we have. Maybe we were somebody, maybe we were our own ancestors. And that to me is just a powerful concept that when we do the spiritual work and we connect with our ancestors, we may be connecting with ancestors of people that we know maybe in chat that knew our ancestors way back or might have been somehow connected with. It shows like Spider Grandmother in the beginning, how everything's all connected on that,
Mm-hmm.
at least on that soul web, that we're all connected with our ancestors. So I just beautiful messages today, beautiful readings.
Yeah.
And hi, Jeff.
This has been a blessing to me. I really, it's
And
touched.
Sylvia. Sylvia joined us. Hello, Sylvia. So yeah, the price those bills. Oh, Ange, you're funny. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So wow, 2 hours, but beautiful readings. I actually don't feel drained. I feel
Yeah,
energized.
I don't either. And I'm glad that we were able to read for everybody because
Me too.
I hate it when we can't.
Same here. So let's up, Judith. Thank you, Heather. I never thought it has taken me this long to finally get it. I wish I would have connected. You know what? Shoulda, coulda, wouldas. My counselor always says. Kathy's my counselor, and she's become more than a counselor. She's family, and she always, she understands when I talk to her. She's like, I know the coulda, shoulda, wouldas. We can sit with those and honor those feelings, but we have to say we move on from them, and we look at those times when we made those decisions or what we were doing at that time. I think, well, what did I learn from that? What did I learn about myself that I didn't know from those moments, those times? And if I didn't, where would I be now? Would I be where I am now? It's just important to remember to accept everywhere that we've been, in our life. The decisions that were good that we made. Some, maybe not so much, but I totally get the 30s and 40s. That's where I really, if I could go back, you know, 2008, that was a pivoting turn. And sometimes I have to get out of my head and out of that energy, you
Mhm.
know. Because I can't go back. We can only go forward and thank our 30s and 40s selves for surviving those times
Yeah,
and the lessons that we learned from them, and to thank them for making us stronger than that we would have been for today. Um,
and you know what I think about? I think now, of course, not everybody believes in reincarnation and soul
mhm,
contracts and things like that, and I understand that. Personally, I do, and and I was late coming to the tarot and this type of spirituality. Uh, And what I think about is my soul contract. I came back here. I chose to come back here. And I want to accomplish what I came back here to do.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why I think it's so important to listen to our angels and our guides and our ancestors, and to meditate and to get like on a more spiritual plane, so that um, we can discern
Mm-hmm.
what that is, you know. And I feel like I'm on the right track, you know.
Yep.
But I mean, you know, it's work, but I love it because I have found a form of spirituality that really makes sense to me, and I just love it. And yeah,
And Judith says, but I am glad I'm still alive. And we're glad that you are too,
yes,
to
my
be here
goodness.
with us, to make changes and enjoy the rest of my life in peace. Love you both. I still tell everyone I am 36, even though I am 6. That
Well,
inner child.
you
Yeah.
know what? I was talking to Heather
Yes, you were.
earlier. Um, I'm 77. Inside, I feel like I'm 20 something. Of course, now I don't walk as well as I used to, you know, and I get tired, but inside is that 20 something. And my grandmother, my paternal grandmother lived to be 92, and she was terribly crippled with rheumatoid arthritis. The pain this woman went through, never complained the first time. I never heard her complain. But when she was 87, we were talking, and she said, I feel like a young girl in an old lady's body. And, you know, when you're young at heart and you have that in you, you know, even though your body starts to falter some, you know, there's still that teenager in there, you know.
Yeah. And Judith says, Nancy, touche, sister.
Yes.
Yes.
I tell you what, got it. You got to flaunt it, Judith.
Yeah. The one thing that I wish I could still do from my youth is to be able to put on a pair of roller skates, real four-wheel roller skates, and hit one of the rolling rinks and just
Oh,
be able to
wasn't that
skate
fun?
and dance
Wasn't
to that
that
music
fun?
again. Hmm.
I would break
I
everything I've
miss that.
got if I tried to do that. But you know, I can remember
Yeah.
when I did, and that's wonderful.
And Fatima says, my mom's grandmother, so your great grandma, lived to be 101.
My great grandmother did too. She was 101 when she died, and I was 4 years old, and I can remember her. I'm 27, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, you just flip it around.
Yeah.
So let's see. 53. I'd be 35. Hey, yes, that's around the time when things started changing. If I, again, if I knew now what I knew then. So yeah, 35. I'd take that. I can't believe how fast the years have gone, though. Heather, come to Toronto and I'll take you roller skating.
Oh,
Oh, I don't have my,
get video of that, okay?
I don't have a passport or an enhanced license, but maybe someday, you know, I'll be able to do that again. So everybody, oh, before we end, Miss Nancy, do you have any little collabs that you're doing this week?
I don't think so. I think this was it. I don't think I've got anything later on in the week. So
Well,
I watched.
sometimes I get bored during the week, and I'm like, I feel like shuffling. You get that thing where you want to shuffle cards, you want to
Let's do a
talk.
pop up.
So Nancy and I've been doing pop ups, so we may even do one this week if we're both, feeling up to it. So, and Peace Mama says, I miss long distance running. I have a friend in Arizona. His name is Kyle. He is a Navajo and Zuni native, and his running. I mean, he when he hits that ground running, he says that is a very meditative. That's what he
Mm.
connects with his spirituality, his ancestors, his people, is through the running. And I get it. It's beautiful.
Oh, Tropical
Yeah.
Empress is here. Hey, Amanda.
Oh, where'd she pop in? There she is.
She is.
Oh, you never got the
I
notification.
don't, I put down notify me, when I go through and
That's weird.
and
I never had that
and of
problem.
course sometimes I don't have my phone with me, so maybe I don't hear them, but I don't, I don't get a lot of notifications. I really don't. Not sure
Well,
why.
well, every Monday at 5 o'clock, we
Yeah, we're
are
here.
here, and we're still waiting for you to reach out to us one of these days to join us as well. You beautiful soul, you.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Um, I've been so tired and drained from the She went to a concert Saturday.
Oh,
Def
oh,
Leppard was one of them. I'm
oh
like,
my goodness.
girl, he can't hit those notes like he used to, but man, for especially, oh,
What was that about? That wasn't
he,
me.
he's
Whoop.
that baby spoke. So, let's see, today's Monday. I have nothing planned until really Friday. I might do a late night. You never know when Moon Scarab,
Yes.
is up late, doesn't have to go to work. And he's like, "Ooh, are you insomniac tonight?" I'm like, "Oh, I could be." So, that's what I love. I love the beauty of pop ups and,
Yeah, it's
just
fun.
going with the energy. Yeah, when the messages are supposed to come through.
Judith
So,
wants you to get a passport. She
I
said,
saw that.
injuries, I will pay the health care. Isn't that precious?
Oh, Judith, I gotta start saving money for our long distance relocation trip next year. So, I'm looking forward to that. I don't know how to roll. Back in the day, I used to do the speed skates when they would have the speed skates on. I crash, I wipe out, I get back up. I'd be like, ow, but get up, keep going. Nowadays, I can't do that anymore, but I don't know. Maybe one of these days. Large crowds, yeah. I don't do well in large crowds anymore, but for a concert, I will, especially if it's a band. I still want to see Metallica one more time.
Mm.
I only saw them once back during the Black tour when they were with Guns N' Roses. I would love to be able to see them one more time. Oh,
Well, back in the day, I never dreamed that Mick Jagger would still be strutting his stuff.
I know.
I mean, it's
Wow.
amazing. It's amazing, you know.
Yep. Some of them still got it, and they're still
Yeah,
going on.
boy. Yeah.
Uh, see, I don't like. I think I like one song by them. Um, but to me, they always gave me the creeps with the makeup and the nightmares. Um, and I saw some videos on them that were just like, ew, ew, with the women and the groupies. Oh no. So, but I can't think of the song. You were made for loving me, and I was made for love. That's the only song, Kiss song, that I know of that I like. But hey, whatever rocks your boat. So, yep, just put one foot in front of the other. There you go. Yeah. So let's do it. I can't remember, Amanda, if you're on the West Coast now or what, but I get out there. I would love, because let's face it, these guys are getting up there and they're still rocking. I don't
Amanda's
know how
gorgeous.
Lars Ulrich drums the way he drums for a heavy metal band, and he's got like I think another 5 years on me, so he's almost like 60 or at 60. I don't know how that little man does it. Holy crap! But you know, man, he still got it. Come on, Heather. I want to rock. Yeah, I don't like that song. No, but Amanda's in Georgia. Oh, all righty. Well,
Yeah.
and Mr. Jagger and friends, they are still going because they are pickled from all the drinking and the yeah.
Well,
I
look
mean,
at
look at Keith
Richards. Who would have
Richards.
thought Keith Richards would
I
still be?
know.
I mean, that you talk about miracles.
You know what I love Keith Richards the most for? And yes, I like the Rolling Stones. I love their music,
Hmm.
but I love what endears him to me is his appearance in the two Pirates of the Caribbean movies
Yes.
as Johnny Depp's dad.
Yeah.
When he starts to pick up
You
the
know,
guitar and he starts to play, how's
he's
mom? He pulls up his crooked.
Johnny Depp said that way back when they first started, that
Mm-hmm.
he, his character,
Mm-hmm.
um, he based it on Keith Richards. The
Yep.
way he moves around
He
and
said Keith Richards and somebody else, and I can't remember who, but he was one of the, like, if not the main inspiration. And so when we saw him, we were seeing the theater, and we're like, oh my God, it's so, and we were so excited when he came back again too. So
yeah.
yes, most definitely. All righty. Well, everybody, have a good rest of your night. Yes, the drummer. Yeah, we did lose Charlie Watts.
Yeah.
Yeah, he hated touring though. He was just like, oh man, he was done with the touring. But
I think Bill Wyman passed too.
did he?
I
We
think.
lost a lot of people recently, and what broke my heart yesterday was Shannon Doherty. She lost her battle with cancer, but she was a hell of a fighter, and I will always love her as Prue Halliwell. She's always going to be my charmed one. So it's hard to watch the people that you grew up with pass.
Oh
It
yeah.
really is.
Yeah.
So at least they have their music and their things, to keep their memories going and to keep our
Mm,
memories going. So,
yeah.
um, everybody, thank you again for joining Nancy and I. We will see you all next week with Allison, and have a great rest of your evening.